So it's Mike Gow here at the BACD Conference 2018, and I'm privileged to have both the current and outgoing president and the president-elect and incoming, Rahul. So thank you very much for joining me.
Pleasure.
So I guess my first question is going to be for Donald. How has the year been as president?
It's been a very interesting year, a thoroughly enjoyable year, but tremendous hard work. Very, very lucky to be supported by such a fantastic board and the committees behind the boards that I would probably say my best gift to the Academy was letting the guys get on with it and not interfering too much. Just so privileged to have been backed up by these guys.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, we spoke this time last year, and do you feel that any kind of visions you had for what you were hoping to achieve in the year you've managed to do?
Yeah, I think we've produced a fantastic educational calendar. More education this year than ever before. Well over 100 hours of CPD provided by the BACD, and all first class education. The feedback we've had has been tremendous, and that's got to be our core principle. We want to promote good ethical cosmetic dentistry, and that's what's been coming out of it. So yeah, very, very pleased with that. I was also privileged to represent the BACD at IFED, the International Federation of Aesthetic Dentistry, over in Chicago, and it was great meeting the other presidents of academies from all over the world and seeing how well the UK is viewed by the other academies. So we're definitely getting there with our aesthetic dentistry.
Absolutely, and you're touching on there the educational aspect, and I think as a dentist observing what the society is doing, I think seeing the regional activity has been very interesting, and the accessibility, I guess, for general dentists.
Yeah, I think we've often been viewed as being London-centric. And to be absolutely honest, I mean, I'm obviously not from London, but it's quite easy to get to London, and easier often than many other places in the country. But we've also gone out to the other areas, and by producing full day educational activity, we're getting a great return on that. People are very, very pleased to come along, and again, the quality of speakers that we've had to these events has been tremendous.
And then especially, I mean, this conference itself, having John Coyce over from America is quite a coup, isn't it? He's very well known and highly regarded.
He is very well known, but he doesn't travel to the UK very much, so it really has been a coup getting John Coyce across. But going forward, we've got a fantastic lineup of speakers next year as well, and to have been sold out this year. Biggest conference we've ever had. It's brilliant, and to reproduce that next year would be brilliant as well. Just the one thing I would ask is for people to book early, because it's so disappointing to have to turn people away. So book now.
Of course, there's no pressure, of course, in next year's conference, and when you're in charge. Obviously we're talking today on the Thursday of the conference. At what point is the actual transition and the handover of the presidency?
Well, actually, it's interesting question, because there is a transition that occurs at the annual gala, but I think theoretically it occurs at the AGM. That's when you'd really become the president. So the AGM is the right answer.
Okay, and when does that happen?
That's on Saturday lunchtime.
Excellent. And do you know who is going to be speaking next year? Are you allowed to announce that yet? Is that still in negotiation, or is it still secret? Can you tell us what's happening next year?
Yeah, we've got Mario Frediani coming, so we're looking forward to him being here for the entire day. We've got an interesting array of actually local and sort of international speakers coming. We're going to be announcing that tomorrow, so I think it's up there for people to actually book early, because we are over the next few days offering a 20% reduction for people who book over the next sort of few days. Because we want the people who are really keen and interested to be able to get a place as soon as they can.
Yeah, and that's excellent. Certainly speaking to some of the delegates today, yet again, the hands-on workshops, the people that do come for the earlier day and do come along, they just seem to get so much out of that, don't they?
I mean, I think that's the only way to really sort of learn some of the techniques that people show in a presentation. So you can actually go through a step-by-step process on slides, But until you actually physically use your hands, recreating the same thing that they showed on the slide, that's when you really pick up all the small nuances to try and then take that back to your practice and then repeat that exercise live on a patient. So to increase your confidence, I think a hands-on aspect is really a really critical part to learning, shall I say.
Excellent. What would you say then? Obviously, having shadowed Donald for the year, what are you hoping out of your presidency? What are you looking forward to? What challenges are you expecting from this year?
Well, really, actually, Donald's had such a fantastic year. He's been a great leader to emulate, and I really want to just, if I can carry on in the same footsteps that Don has, and lead the academy in a similar way, I think I'll have done a good job then. So, promoting ethical cosmetic dentistry, that's our number one aim, not just to the patients, but also to dentists as well. So to try and continue that message reach to all the people. So that's our number one aim. The second aim would be to still continue and expand the benefits that our members get. So that's always at the forefront of our mind, because we want to make sure that the members are benefiting from being part of the BACD. And of course, continuing to be regarded as an academy for world-class speakers, where you will see some of the best speakers in different arenas that relate to cosmetic dentistry.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I think I'm impressed with as well is within your committee you actually have dedicated members on the board who are focused on young dentists. Can you tell me a little bit about what the Society is doing, I guess, to encourage young dentists as members?
Sure, actually it starts really early on when they're in university. They come and see what the BACD is all about as student reps, and they attend the conference, they help the conference, but they actually listen into the lectures, so they get a vision of what perhaps dentistry could be like. But then thereafter, what we also want to do is we have a young dentist day, where one of our committee members, Sam Jetwa, actually organises on an annual basis, where we attract a fair number of young dentists, teaching them really the groundwork, the foundations of cosmetic dentistry. So giving them the actual tips of really how to develop their career correctly, because all dentistry that you do can be cosmetic, whether it's a simple filling, a crown, a denture, and to do that properly right at the outset of your career is probably the best way to develop, and then to figure out what they want to develop more into, or which area of cosmetic dentistry. Is it more in the restorative side? Is it more in the removable prosthesis side? Is it more in the orthodontic side? They get an idea and a feel of where they can go in their career.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually we interviewed one of the students here today, and that very much was her sentiment, which was picking up on some of the things that she wouldn't learn at dental school, but also just feeding off the kind of energy and the passion of the lecturers and the whole kind of atmosphere here at the conference. And I think that as a profession there's so much kind of negativity around. It's just really nice to see a lot of positive energy, and there is so much positive energy here, and it's wonderful.
It is, and if we look at the journey of a dentist who's just become accredited, Richard Field. I remember him being a student rep maybe just over 5, 6, 7 years ago. From a student rep he became a committee member. Becoming a committee member, he attended numerous lectures, started lecturing, and now he's gone through the whole accreditation process, following the 5 disciplines in accreditation, showing how good he is, and now he can be a proud accredited member right from being a student.
Yeah, thanks. So obviously the accreditation process isn't a kind of mandatory thing within the Society. It's just something, an aspirational thing, and I know it's something the Society is kind of driving towards. Is it something that you're planning to do yourself in the future?
Accreditation is actually such an important thing, I think, for people to do, because it really takes you to be a step above in your own career and your own accomplishment, because it's about you as a person and developing yourself to be the best you can. And there are 5 different modalities, and you want to show that you can actually accomplish and challenge yourself to achieve those individual modalities to the highest standard, and that's what accreditation tests. So once you've done that, and for people, your peers, your patients, to see that you're an accredited dentist actually can be incredibly valuable to them, but also to you.
Are there any kind of time stipulations? I know with some societies, to become accredited, you have to go through the accreditation process, but you also have to have been a member for a certain period of time. Is there a delay if somebody was to join? Are they able to go straight forward with accreditation?
I think
I can weave that in as well.
Yes, there's a 3-year stipulation, so you've got to be a member for 3 years before you can take accreditation.
And presumably that's it's to allow a process of time and diligence, and you've done the time, I guess.
Well, it's to gain experience. It's not just
that's
an academic answer. Yes, you need to have seen enough cases and to develop that experience before you go on and specialise in it.
I think that's the thing. I mean, I think nowadays the young dentists that are going through seem to be fast tracking a lot of their postgraduate education, very quickly picking up various things. So I think you're right, experience is such an essential part of that process also. Excellent, good. Should I ask any of that again? What would you have as a piece of advice for Rahul for this year? Is there anything anything you would pass on? You may have done this off camera, of course, but is there anything on camera that you would offer?
No, to be honest, I don't think Rahul needs any advice from me. I've known Rahul for a long time. He's a fantastic dentist, fantastic person, and I just know he's going to lead the academy to greater heights.
Absolutely. Membership-wise, what approximately how many members are in the society just now?
We've got about 750. The membership's going up year on year, and it's just fantastic to see it growing and being in a very fit state.
Yeah, and are you seeing? I take it you're seeing a trend of younger dentists getting involved, but are you finding there are dentists that are in the kind of later stages of their career that are getting involved and coming in as members? Is that happening also?
Absolutely. So we want to attract both, well, actually all types of members. So we have a lot of students coming in, and the students then developed into sort of young generation dentist members, shall I say. But having great speakers and having quality speakers also attracts membership from the sort of the older generation, because they want all the tiny nuances in performing certain type of clinical dentistry, and what, I think the BACD is the place to get that information.
Yeah, absolutely. And often the things I'm hearing when I come along to BACD conferences are dentists talking about the illusion that BACD is only about cosmetic dentistry. It's only high-end dentistry, which most folk I speak to say that's a myth. All dentistry is cosmetic to a degree, and we are talking everyday dentistry here at these types of conferences.
I think one of the obvious answers to that is the fact we've got John Coyce over here. John Coyce, he talks about the foundation of dentistry, and unless you get the foundations right, there's absolutely no point in looking at cosmetic aesthetic dentistry. So yes, everything should be done in a beautiful way, but it's got to be done in sound foundations.
Excellent. What would you guys then, I guess, say to anybody watching this who has never been involved with BACD? They're not sure about the people that are involved, they're not sure what the conference is like, and they're not sure what the society is like. What would you say, I guess, to encourage them to come along, investigate, find out a bit more about what you guys are about and what you do? What message would you give them?
Well, I think from my point of view, it's you obviously don't know what you're missing out on. It's such a great academy to be a member of, both from the academic point of view and from the social point of view. It's very much a family feel. Everybody's made to feel welcome right across the board. There's no sort of question of some of the hierarchy, not talking to the more junior, newer members. It's just brilliant to see everybody mingling and learning together, and learning as much at the bar as they do in lectures. So come and be part of a great academy.
Absolutely, and do you know, it's kind of odd. I've been involved in a number of societies, and the vast majority of societies you get involved with, there are infighting, and there are people that don't get on and characters that have issues, and I don't know what goes on behind the BACD doors and meetings or whatever, but you don't get that feeling from the BACD. It does seem as if everybody gets on very well, and it's well organised, and it's very friendly and welcoming. And thank you again for having us here and making us feel welcome. So I wish you a successful year as president next year, and congratulate you for yours. And thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you.